I've been on a secret mission. I forgot to tell you guys about.
Oh yeah, bro thinks he's Ethan Hunt.
Rereading A Song of Ice and Fire, and
why?
It's gotten me very upset that the next book's never coming out. I'm in a Feast for Crows right now, and I'm just like, damn, this shit's never gonna end.
Yeah, I wonder what drops first, the Epstein list or Winds of Winter.
But no, I was seriously reading it the other day, and I was like, if he died, do you think they would just drop what he has right now?
I guess it depends on his will, because he seems to be adamantly against anybody else finishing it,
including himself.
Yeah, it's upsetting, but I still got hope. Let a kid dream.
Yeah, I'll let you dream. Since you're rereading it, it's only natural to get hype for the book that's never going to come out. That's kind of why I don't want to reread them, although I really do.
Yeah, it's making me want to rewatch all the Game of Thrones, and then I get down the rabbit hole, and then it becomes my life for the next few months. So I'm in a dangerous game right now.
I follow somebody who was recently rewatching House of the Dragon season 2, and I was like, I don't think I could ever bring myself to rewatch that season of television.
I didn't fuck with that at all, man.
It's not that it was bad. It was just so boring.
At the end of season 1, we were going to war, and at the end of season 2, we were still going to the same war.
It's coming. Well, speaking of George and Fantastic Four, that was the iconic letter he sent to Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. He was like, yo, good job. I fuck with your shit. So that's what we're talking about today. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. My name is Reuben, joined here today with Aaron and Cam, and we're talking the Fantastic Four First Steps. But before we get into today's review, I want to let you guys know that you can listen to this wherever you get your podcasts, and go ahead and check out our Patreon page where we drop podcasts, sometimes featuring Cam, sometimes featuring Aaron, sometimes featuring myself, individually or as a group. There's a lot of fun pods that we're uploading there. Just recorded my Eddington review, which was a really fun movie. And what else do we have to plug? Oh, social medias, at Nerd Soup, at Beau Soup, at Nerd Soup Monkey, at Cam. How's it going, guys?
It's going good, dude. Had a great experience in the movie theater this weekend, so that's always great.
That's nice. How about you, Aaron?
I hurt my toe, so that's been a bummer.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. I was barefooting it a lot this weekend, so maybe I stepped on something, but it looks like one of those cartoon toes that's all blown up.
You're in a Looney Tunes skit?
Pretty much.
Got the toe poking out of the shoe?
Yeah.
God, I miss Looney Tunes.
Yeah, Looney Tunes is great.
We're getting the Coyote versus Acme. That should be a banger.
I heard that as acne, just a dermatologist.
He's got a bunch of pimples.
Roadrunner's his only patient. You can't outrun pimples, Roadrunner.
I think you got something there.
Zaslav is hearing this. He's like, guys, that should have been the movie. If that was the movie, I wouldn't have canned it. No, I had something else to say about Aaron's big toe. Oh, no, yeah, the big toe, man. Really important for balance.
Probably the most important toe.
The big toe really earned the name Big Toe. It's not just because it's bigger, but it really is. Well, I guess that really goes into it. That is the biggest toe, but it's like a double meaning.
Yeah, like it's doing all the work. It's a big toe.
Yeah, it's a big toe. Yeah, that's Big Toe over there. And he's humble too, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't want any
sometimes
credit. He just does his work, does his job, blue collar.
Because my second toe is longer than my big toe, but you don't hear my big toe complaining about it. It respects it. A lot of other toes would be upset. They'd be self-conscious, yeah. But
yeah, he's an asshole. I could do the big toe's job. That's my pinky toe impression. All right, let's get into the Fantastic Four, the first steps. The fourth Fantastic Four movie. Somebody recently asked me, how many Fantastic Four movies have there been now? And I was like, no, this is only 3. And then I forgot about Fan Four Stick. So yeah, number 4, fourth time's a charm. I think we are all in agreement. Probably everybody who's seen all the Fantastic Fours are in agreement that this is the best one. And for a lot of reasons that really haven't been the reasons why other MCU movies have been successful, you know, setting it in the 1960s, sort of mid-60s, late 60s, having that older aesthetic. And there's like a real innocence to this movie where it starts and the Fantastic Four are beloved by society. It reminded me a lot of that initial Stan Lee, Jack Kirby run where you open the comic and you're right into it. The Fantastic Four, they had their accident, they have their powers, Everybody loves them. They're the world's protectors. And really the casting, I was skeptical about it when it was announced, but I think all the actors did a really great job, and they really built that family camaraderie to where it was very convincing that they've known each other for a long time, that they have good chemistry with each other, they have their inside jokes and their jabs, and they don't take anything too seriously. And it reminded me a lot of The Incredibles, which was, people like to say that was the first good Fantastic Four movie. And I've seen people calling Pedro Pascal a miscast. I actually can't disagree with that enough. I think that this may have been his best role on film, meaning all of his iconic stuff has mostly been on television. I don't think he's had that truly great cinematic role yet. And this might be it. I think that he was a great Reed Richards. He really did a good job of playing Reed, the character that you read in the comics, being charming and a genius scientist, but also very neurotic and worried about the world and his family and trying to solve all the world's problems with his big brain. I love this movie. I found it to be very enjoyable. I didn't mind the short runtime. It felt like just a galactic blast. That's not even a pun on Galactus, but I was surprised by the space stuff as well. And I also think this is the first MCU movie to embrace the Kirby style of Marvel stories, more so than the Stan Lee style. Obviously, they collaborated together, but in terms of the visual storytelling, the production design was fantastic. Not a pun on the fucking title of the movie, but I always say this about Star Trek. I hate the touch screens. I hate how everything's become digital. I like the retro futuristic analog technology. And just the interiors of their home, the Baxter building, all of that stuff was just a blast to watch these people live a very domestic, normal lives as superheroes.
I went into the movie having a little bit of superhero fatigue and not really liking Marvel at the moment, but I had no real expectations going in, and I came out of the movie in love with the movie. I want to go back and see it 3 more times already. I didn't see it in IMAX the first time, so I think I'm going to go see it in IMAX this week. I just loved everything about it. From, like you said, the movie just opens up and right away you're into the plot of the movie. There's no slow build up or anything. You're instantly into the family and you're seeing what's happening with the Fantastic Four. I love the whole opening sequence where they explain how they've beaten their past villains like Mole Man or the monkey Mr. Fantastic was fighting. I thought overall it was just a great introduction for them into the MCU. And we haven't seen Marvel content like this in a while, and it got me excited for the future of Marvel again.
Yeah, no, I agree. I enjoyed it a lot. I do think I have a little bit of problems. Same thing with Superman. Both movies taking characters that we know about and kind of just, instead of giving us the origins, thrusting us into an already built world. And I do like that aspect of it, but also with that, in both movies, I feel like we could have used a little bit more of building the relationships between the characters. I think that's something this movie could have benefited from. Maybe, I know there were some cuts, but maybe like an extra 15 minutes just to really solidify those relationships and making the third act that much more impactful. When you look at a character like Ben Grimm, I think the stuff with him and Natasha Lyonne's character were a little bit thrusted in. There definitely seems like there was more there that they decided to trim off that I think would have helped that, because looking back at those scenes, they kind of feel a little bit insignificant. And I know what they were going for, much like the original Fantastic Four movies, where he is struggling with the changes. We got glimpses of that, but certain aspects of the movie I feel like could have been built up a little bit better to really drive that home, where I think some scenes just felt a little bit out of place or lacking some context. And also I feel like
she could have been entirely cut from the movie. It's literally not making a difference.
Right. And a lot of it just relies on the fact that we know they're the first family of Marvel and they already have that relationship built in. And sometimes I just like to see that within the project itself. It still didn't really change much as far as the impact later on in the film. I just think that could have been fleshed out a little bit more. And I do think, I don't mind, because we were talking about it at the end of the movie, that the action really took a back seat to everything else, which I really don't mind. I think that's something that is a little bold to do, but I do wish within some of those sequences they could have got a little bit more imaginative, especially with Mr. Fantastic. I think that's one character, even just like it might just be a little bit biased because I have seen similar powers in like One Piece, and just the imagination that they do with Luffy and his stretching abilities, I think was just totally lacking with Reed Richards. We really didn't see him do anything besides like kind of stretch his arm a little to grab a piece of chalk or like grab onto a building. And especially when Galactus is stretching him, I'm like, isn't that like
that's his
what
whole
he's supposed
thing.
to do? Yeah, and Bro could barely stretch at all. And I did read that it's different when he is enacting his stretching abilities versus when he's being forced to. Like that's
But then
kind of
why not just enact it so he's not getting hurt? Like, can't he just make it like, all right, we're good to stretch now?
But other than Sue, I think Sue was the best part of the movie, and I think her powers were awesome to watch. I think that lacked imagination with everybody else. There were little cool moments like when Johnny is able to absorb the fire. I thought that was awesome. And when the Silver Surfer is surfing his flames was probably one of the coolest things I've seen in a movie. So there were parts of it I did really enjoy, but I just would like a little bit more imagination, especially with Reed Richards, because he should honestly be kind of like how Plastic Man is low-key one of the strongest characters in DC. Like I wish we just would have saw a little bit more. And the focus was with his intelligence, which I did enjoy that aspect of, but I wish they would have balanced it with like, oh, Reed Richards is actually a fucking problem too when he's throwing these hands.
Yeah. That's something that the early 2000s movies did well, I thought, where it was very creative with his powers. Like, we could have seen Reed Richards be like a parachute or something at some point in this movie, or rolling around in a little ball, or just some stuff to make it more creative than his arms just stretching out throughout the movie.
Go Gear 3, bro.
Yeah, for real. Just make a huge arm and just start slamming on Galactus. Like Popeye, blow up your thumb like you're in Tom and Jerry or something, and then just punch him in the face a couple times.
But I do respect
why didn't he do that?
Yeah. Putting the action on kind of the back burner and really focusing in on the intelligence of some of these characters, like Johnny Storm going full Arrival, trying to taking that one sentence and being able to learn the language enough to connect with Silver Surfer. Like I thought that was just a cool way to kind of figure out a problem and use it to their advantage and try to solve the situation at hand. But yeah, he should have got Amy Adams. She would have fucking decoded that.
Dude loves Amy Adams. You're the biggest Amy Adams stan I've ever met.
I mean,
Amy Adams is contractually, she's not allowed to appear in good movies anymore. So,
or as linguist,
she's like, I would have loved to. Yeah, only as linguist, right? She really made one of the best movies ever, and she was just like, I'm tired of that. I don't want to be challenged anymore.
You like Night Bitch?
I never saw Night Bitch.
Oh, there's your problem.
They should have got the Night Bitch.
Yeah.
Night Bitch, we need you to distract Galactus as we pull the old switcheroo.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing. And then
we'll wait until spoilers.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I enjoyed these characters. I thought they were all great in their roles. The dynamic between the Thing and Johnny, like that's something that I feel like that's stayed true. And I'm not going to say I've read a lot of the comics, but throughout the movies, like their relationship has always been one of the strongest aspects of that family dynamic. And I think that kind of continued in this one, like with their back and forth. And the humor was, I wasn't like laughing. It wasn't like your typical MCU humor. Everything really fit the moment and fit the characters. They never had an aside that kind of broke what was going on just to kind of throw in a joke that may or may not fit. And even though I didn't think it was the funniest movie I've ever seen, it was very well placed within the movie, which I think MCU movies in particular have struggled with throughout the past with. It all fit what was going on.
Yeah, it felt natural. Unlike the rest of the MCU has felt like they've been like forcing comedy too much lately. But this movie felt like this is something these characters would really say if they were together in real life.
They had one almost typical MCU joke when he sees her fall off the board and he's like, surfboard, not a part of the body. And I feel like even his reaction to Galactus sniffing the earth was an MCU joke, but nothing that really takes you out of the drama of those sequences. I would say in back-to-back movies, with Superman and now Fantastic Four, my favorite sequences were the space sequences, with Superman in the pocket universe, and then when Fantastic Four goes up into space. And, I guess this is kind of getting into territories of minor spoilers, but when you see Galactus for the first time pretty early in the film, I just wasn't expecting that. And I thought that was really well done. Like Aaron had said, when Silver Surfer is surfing the flames, both times I've seen the movie, I found that to be awesome. And her character as well, her presence always being a bit weird and strange, you know, sort of this, you don't know if they're benevolent, whose side are they really on, and then the dynamic between her and Johnny Storm, where Johnny Storm's just not there to be the goofball of the team. He's really trying to help. He's, you know, as they say, he's trying to find Reed this lever. So I enjoyed that dynamic as well. But yeah, definitely the stuff between Mr. Fantastic and Sue, I guess the Invisible Woman, probably the strongest relationship in the film. And you know, the conflict between them, where Reed, he can see the equation and he knows what should be done logically, but he's in this conflict between logic and emotion. And I think that's where Pedro Pascal really shined as this character, where you have that neurotic nature to Reed Richards, and it really did seem as if the entire weight of the world was on his shoulders. And that's why I really enjoyed the setup too, where they're basically the gods of this world, where everybody loves them. They're looked up to as the protectors, as the leaders. They're going to guide humanity. And you see with Reed Richards, he's still very much just a man, and how he takes that responsibility very seriously, and how it weighs on him. So I don't know. Did you guys think Pedro was a miscast? Because I've seen that all over the internet.
No, I really liked Pedro. I thought that he was good. His star power and the way he was able to be the leading role, I thought that he was perfect for the fit and to lead the MCU going forward.
I don't think it was... Yeah, I think he was good within the role he was given, but I think the Mr. Fantastic character as a whole, I think that's the one character I look upon of these four without really, I don't want to say substance. I just think it's the most, it's just like, especially with Pedro Pascal too, I feel like all of his roles, every character he plays has like a certain, like, there's always something there. There's like a little, what's the word? There's always something more. There's like something more to work with for him to sink his teeth into. This is probably his most vanilla, straightforward character he's played, and I think the other three got a little bit more in terms of personality than Reed did. But like you said, like they're very much trying to convey Reed as this almost neurotic genius, where he kind of struggles at times to take what he sees on the chalkboard and deviate from what the logical thing to do is. And throughout the movie, he kind of finds that due to Sue, like sometimes you gotta take those numbers and equations, but implement a human element into them.
Yeah, it's like the trolley that's going to run over 1,000 people or one person, and then it's revealed to you that one person is someone you know, someone you love.
Yeah.
And his brain is just obviously.
They say that if you ever find yourself in a situation where a train's coming and you could pull the lever to go to either track, but there's a person on each side tied up, what do? I think technically you're not supposed to do anything and just let the train kill whoever it's going for.
Nah. Well, yeah, in that situation, but
because if you pull the lever, then you're causing the death of somebody else. Or if you do nothing, you're just letting things play out as is.
Wait, hold on. Let me. We're gonna go into spoilers. So if you guys haven't seen the movie, stop watching this, or just keep watching. You know, let it get spoiled so we get the minutes. But yeah, Cam, make that point now.
Okay, so Galactus obviously makes the deal that they have to give up their son in order to save the Earth. But if I'm a citizen of the Earth or just somebody who's living there, Reed Richards comes back from space and tells me we're all going to die because I'm not giving up my one kid, I would be a little mad about that. I'd feel some type of way at the Fantastic Four, but that's just me. Like, I understand it's your kid, but you see Reed even like contemplating it throughout the movie. It's really 8 billion people or his son. And just numbers wise, I understand that they come through in the end, obviously, but numbers wise, I'd give up the kid. I don't know.
Tossing that baby up.
Like, dude, the amount of like infrastructure that just got destroyed in New York City, bro.
Off the backboard, Galactus cocks it back, flushes it home. Game over. It's interesting. I think there was an avenue, and I do love the way the movie played out towards the end. But now, like thinking about it, like how subversive would it have been if they ended up failing and quote unquote selfish, because obviously it's an impossible decision to make, but like if they do go through with their plan, we're not giving up our baby, and it causes this planet to be crushed and for them to flee to our universe, That would just be such a fucking devastating ending to this movie and crazy introduction to them, the Fantastic Four, into our world.
Yeah, and the rest of the MCU, for at least Doomsday and Secret Wars, we would see them having to deal with their, like, coming to terms with what they did. The fact that all these people in their whole world, everybody who worshiped them, died because they didn't have the heart to give up their son, which I felt like could have been a good dynamic going forward.
Yeah, but I kind of like to see, like, also thinking about it too. I want the Fantastic Four to join and be like, yeah, we're the Fantastic Four. We run this shit now. Like, if they just come in being like, you could just see the battle scars on their faces and them just absolutely devastated. I feel like that would just take up too much, especially if the next time they show up in Doomsday, for them to kind of make that jump back to hero. I don't know how that would work logistically, but in a vacuum, like at the end of this movie, that being the reason why they come would have been pretty crazy. And I wonder if they ever flirted with that route.
I mean, after Thunderbolts, that's what I thought the plan was. They kind of misled us there. Because, I mean, can we spoil Thunderbolts here? Do we care about that or no?
Nah,
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so yeah, the Thunderbolts after credit scene, how they show up in the
Bucky's in Congress.
Yeah, Bucky's in Congress. He didn't release the files.
We voted no?
Yeah, Bucky was definitely on that side. He's definitely got some shady shit going on in there.
Because he was Hydra.
Yeah, blame it on Hydra. Right?
Bucky, this says you were on the flights after you went to Wakanda.
But the fact that they show up obviously in Earth 616 at the end of the movie, I thought that for sure Galactus was destroying their planet and that they were going to have to use Reed's teleporting technology that he works on throughout the movie it doesn't move them from space to space, but moves them from dimension to dimension, and they would have to go there afterwards. But looks like they're going a different route with that now, where maybe Doom takes their son to that universe and they have to go there because of it. But we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, or maybe they send Galactus there.
Oh,
I don't know.
Right, yeah, Galactus just ends up in our universe.
Do we think Galactus is showing back up at some point? I think he did very good. What's his name?
Ralph Ineson.
Yeah, he was very good, I thought, as Galactus.
Yeah,
when he's stretching Reed, when he's stretching him and he's just smiling, it felt like he felt like almost like a kid, but also so wise at the same time. And he really felt like an ancient being who had been there since the dawn or before time in that universe.
Well, I was reading that Galactus is a necessity in order to keep balance within the universe.
Yeah, he's just doing his 9 to 5, bro. He's
right, but without Galactus, the universe needs Galactus.
Yeah, and it's like he's almost like the cosmic Sisyphus, where he's cursed with this eternal hunger that never ends. So can you blame him? He's just cursed to keep pushing the boulder up the hill, and he sees as he says, his salvation to transfer over his power to this kid. And that's why the whole, the introduction of the baby and that plot twist when they're first negotiating with Galactus, and he's like, yeah, no, I want the child inside of her. I was like, what? I sort of had the same reaction that they had. And I think that whole chase sequence, just combined with her giving birth and then turning invisible, and then the baby's there and the Silver Surfer on their trail and them trying to figure it out with all the science, and we're going to slingshot around the black hole. I thought the chaos of all that, and visually it looked great too, but it was just so entertaining. But yeah, I think Galactus's motivations were, he's sort of emotionless at times, but when he saw the Fantastic Four as legitimate adversaries, he complimented them and he got some enjoyment out of thwarting them. So everything about that character I really liked. The design, all been waiting for that for a long time, to see Galactus as he is in the comics on the big screen. And I think Silver Surfer even hints at that. He predates our existence, and he's necessary. He's as essential as any other, element or part of the universe that makes the wheels turn.
Yeah. It was very funny when he's walking towards the portal where he thinks Franklin is, and what does he say to them? He says, like, clever little bugs or something like that. And that part got me.
No, I was just going to say, like, the 4 smartest people on Earth, and their big plan was the old switcheroo.
Yeah, they
tap
really
him on the shoulder.
They're like, he's never seen this one before.
Back to the basics.
No,
but I think that beginning part with Galactus and when they're first in space is the best part of the movie, like you were saying before. When Silver Surfer was surfing, I was like getting hype in the theater, man. When she's like actually, because in the past movies, in Rise of the Silver Surfer, she's just kind of like floating in the air, you know? But in this one, she was surfing. She was surfing on that shit through the time stream or whatever, or the light speed trail they had going on. Those scenes were honestly some of my favorite scenes in the movie. Just it felt cool for them to be in space and not just like a grounded movie on Earth, you know?
Yeah, because there's such a scary pairing when you have the big giant monster and the Herald, who is very stoic and just fully platinum. It's a scary dynamic they have going there.
Yeah, I thought Ruth, or I don't know her name, so I'm just going to call her Ruth. Yeah, she played her very well, I thought. I know people were a little uneasy when they saw it was going to be a female Silver Surfer, but I think that's just because people are, you know how people are. But I think she did a great job as the character and was the best adaptation of the Silver Surfer we've seen, so that's a win.
Yeah, I just don't think the gender is that important for a character like that. It's similar to almost, Adam Warlock, some of these cosmic characters. It's just not that important whether they're a girl or a guy. Anybody can sort of do it.
Well, there is a woman Silver Surfer in the comics.
There's everything in the comics.
It is crazy now. Like, I just saw this random thread and I was just looking at people's reactions to it. Just the arguments now that every movie that comes out, whether it like how is it aligned with my political beliefs? And that just being such a determining factor on whether people want to see a movie or like a movie. Because
they go in with these preconceived biases over it now.
Because the thread I saw was
Marvel's gone woke.
It was like, it's like, a new Fantastic movie, surprisingly conservative. And I'm like, gotta check out this. And then I was reading the replies, and it's like, I don't care how conservative it is. They made the Silver Surfer a woman. I'm like, this is fun. This is a fun way to live your life. But yeah, I really did like the design of her character, and even like the little backstory of how she became the Herald of Galactus, and Johnny being the one to kind of appeal to her lost humanity, and her coming in at the end being the final blow to push him in when Johnny's ready to make the sacrifice. I thought that was just a really great moment. And then that all leading into, which was surprisingly, even though like it's the first Fantastic Four movie introduction to this group, like Sue Storm isn't going to die, but they did a really good job of convincing the audience that maybe she might die here. And a lot of those moments where you kind of know something's not going to happen sometimes fail to carry a lot of emotional weight. But that moment when they're all around her lifeless body, I thought was very impactful.
Yeah, because there's so much talk throughout the movie whether or not they should sacrifice the kid. And you never really think, will any of the Fantastic Four sacrifice themselves? That's just not part of the equation that they've been building up. So when she just takes matters into her own hands and shows us, getting real nerdy here, why she is the strongest member of this team, that she's powerful enough to push Galactus into a fucking black hole, it's an epic moment. And then when everybody sort of helping her out, like when Ben knocks down the building that Galactus is holding on to, Mr. Fantastic saves the kid, Johnny Storm pulls the lever. So his big hero moment isn't even using his flame powers. It's literally just turning on the black hole machine. So yeah, no, that did hit hard. And she just looks super dead. She looked like a fucking corpse.
Yeah.
And then they put the baby on her, and it's like life came back to her. Was it because of the baby, or was it because of her powers? Who knows? Probably because of the baby, but...
Who saved who,
Yeah. Who saved who, right? And I think this isn't my idea. I've seen some people saying this on social medias, that this could have been a great place to reboot the MCU and just kind of embrace the roots of that 1960s aesthetic. And I had mentioned this earlier, how innocent the world really does feel. And then I think if you introduce the X-Men to contrast that, where the Fantastic Four are beloved by society and the X-Men are despised because they're different, and it can be a real stand-in for the civil rights movement. And you can also base these characters like Magneto could still be a Holocaust survivor because that would line up chronologically. I really like that idea. Obviously, that's not where they're going. It looks like they're going to bring this Fantastic Four into our universe, and maybe the full reboot will happen after that. But I think that this would have been just a great start, a great place to start all over again with this team.
Yeah, you can almost,
and like I said, present them as gods and then sort of strip them down.
You could almost like run them simultaneously, where I heard Feige said that they're eventually going to recast a lot of the Captain Americas of the world and Steve Rogers, Iron Man, and stuff like that. And I think this could have been a good opportunity where, kind of like you said, you start with this world with the Fantastic Four and kind of introduce like the X-Men now and keep the setting and the year the same and kind of build into introducing all these other characters back into a branch of the MCU, while the one that we're on now is kind of leading towards an end. And then you kind of recycle back some of these characters with new castings into this new world.
Yeah, totally. And then you can get into the politics of those eras. You still have the Cold War, which inspired a lot of the comics that came out in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And as I mentioned, with the civil rights movements, there's a lot of interesting things that they could have done, and also keeping that retro futuristic society that I love so much. Now with the MCU movies, the DC movies, whatever current movie comes out, the technology is futuristic, but it resembles so much the technology we have now. Whereas in the Fantastic Four, they have a flying car. And I love shit like that. And there are no touch screens in sight. Everything's buttons. I love buttons. Buttons and wires. So that could have been fun to really build a universe out of that aesthetic as well. And I hope, obviously we're going to get more of the Fantastic Four in their own movies, I would imagine. So I do wonder how they're going to do it. Are they going to keep them after they do whatever they're going to do in Doomsday and Secret Wars? Or are they just going to keep them in their own little pocket universe? I would like them to.
I wonder if like their world kind of combined with, because the whole thing with Secret Wars is he makes Battle World or whatever and takes pieces of each universe, right? Combines them. So maybe they're gonna have to scrap a lot of shit, but maybe they bring in the Fantastic Four's like New York as the new New York in this world, and then you bring in a whole new X-Men. Maybe we get like a reveal of like a new Captain America and Iron Man at the end of it, and they keep some guys and get rid of others. Like Spider-Man's got to stay, right?
I was thinking about that. Yeah, like if they did a hard reboot but kept some characters, I think Spider-Man would be one.
Yes, but like the young guys can all stay. Maybe you even keep like, I don't know how long he wants to do this, but like Chris Hemsworth could stay. He's still somewhat young where he could play Thor for another 10 years. But you really focus on the mutants and the Fantastic Four, and then you bring these guys in for maybe their team ups or whatever it may be.
Yeah, it could be like a comic reboot where things are going to change a lot. Like when they did the New 52, everything with Batman pretty much stayed the same, but they changed some core things with Superman because they wanted to bring him to the modern era. And then they fucking retconned that. They literally brought the Superman from pre-New 52 into the New 52 universe because everybody hated the new Superman. But I think they could make it work.
Yeah, I mean, they do that with in the comics. They do it with Miles Morales, right? He gets brought over from the Ultimate Universe to the Earth 616 universe, and that's kind of the whole purpose of Secret Wars, was to bring all them together. So maybe they do that with I'm not sure really, but I think that in that universe Miles' like whole backstory and his family and everything was still brought into the new universe as well. It wasn't just Miles. So I assume they could do that with this version of New York or whatever. But they got the Baxter building is where Stark Tower is, or whatever, Tony's Tower, Avengers Tower. So they're going to have to figure out what to do with that whole situation. But they could, in Feige we trust. I think they got this, even though they don't have a script finished for the movie.
Yeah, somebody said ChatGPT is talking to the Russo brothers like the Green Goblin mask.
Dude, isn't it kind of insane? I was talking about this with somebody yesterday, that it's insane that they don't have a script for this movie and they're like halfway done filming, supposedly.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good sign at all.
Yeah, I saw, I forget her name, the girl who plays Mystique. She was saying like, I don't even know if I'm done filming yet because we don't know what goes on with the rest of this movie. I think they might end up rushing it all. Like I said, Fantastic Four got me very excited for what's to come, as well as Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was a good little precursor to that. But I'm still not fully back on the MCU train until I see Doomsday, because they have to give me a good reason for Dr. Doom being Tony Stark or being Robert Downey Jr.
Man, I thought we were going to see his face. I guess they're saving that for the Avengers.
Dude,
no way that was him.
After credit scene. Let's talk about that. After credit scene was crazy, bro. When he pulled up, I was like, no way. My jaw dropped in the theater.
Yeah, I seen some people saying, they're gonna retcon it, or they're gonna change it from the comics where the baby grows up to be Doom and he's coming back into the past. I think that would be dumb. I think it's just as simple as Doom wants to do some fucked up shit, and this baby's really powerful.
Yeah. So. There's two things. There's one, do you think this Doom is from their universe? Because in the beginning of the movie, we see that everybody's disarming like their weapons at the Future Foundation, and it shows that Latveria has no seat, or that their representative didn't show up. So they didn't do that. So do we think this Doom is from their universe and they already know about Doom? Or do you think that this is a Doom from another universe who is now coming to this universe to take the kid and then shows up, maybe brings the kid to Earth 616 and they track the kid's heat signature? I don't know. Kind of like how they were tracking Silver Surfer, track his cosmic energy to Earth 616, and that's why they have to go there at the end of Thunderbolts.
Well, I feel like Dr. Doom, the character, relies on a relationship with the Fantastic Four.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't like if he's disassociated with them, and the only reason why he comes is because of Franklin. A big part of Doom's character is his own ego and his jealousy, which turns into hatred because he hates Reed Richards. And it's funny reading on Dr. Doom, he's just second best in everything, and that would drive me crazy. He's second smartest only to Reed Richards. He's the second most powerful sorcerer behind Doctor Strange. He's just always coming in second place. And that's basically why he's just such an egomaniac and the way he is. But I feel like a big part of his character is his animosity towards Reed. So if we do see that scene kind of extendedly played out, I would hope that Sue recognized Victor.
Yeah, and I think it's also
a relationship.
Right.
We don't see him go in space, though, with them, right? Because isn't that a part of how Doom gets his powers, is that he goes to space with them on that original voyage when they all get their powers?
I thought that too, but Reuben said that's that's just for that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just in that
and I think
movie.
the rivalry starts when they're buddies at school, and he blames him for an experiment going wrong that scars his face. But I think he's just his power is derived from studying, being a master scientist and also a master sorcerer. And the movie really does establish the idea, the Mole Man says it when he tries to steal their building, or the Pan Am building, and he's like, Reed Richards, this is all his fault because he thinks that, society can continue to progress. And there was an emphasis on how the world has never cooperated this much at any point in history when they're all trying to build the teleportation devices. And then Dr. Doom is a dictator. He's a strong man. Everything comes back to him and what he wants to do and what decisions he's going to make. So it's just in complete contrast to the ideology of someone like Reed Richards and really the Fantastic Four as a whole, this idea of humanity being one big family. It's cheesy, but when it's contrasted with somebody like Doom who says, no, I'm actually the god of this world, it actually becomes way more appealing.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom's such a fun character to read about. I was reading how his motivations are pure but also evil. It's he truly wants the world to be a great utopia where everyone is happy and succeeds, but he is ruling it.
Right.
So it's he has such a god complex where even there was another iteration where the best outcome for the world was Dr. Doom being a dictator for the entire world. But it's also just feeds into his superiority complex. He means well, but only if he is also regarded as the savior.
Yeah, I hope we get enough time to see that complex throughout the next two films that he's in, because I feel like they're rushing it a little bit, and I hope they do Doom good, because if they mess it up now, it's going to be very disappointing, So I hope that over the next two movies we get a lot of Doom screen time, and that they're almost Doom movies and he's almost the main character of them, But
Robert Downey isn't he's not a young man. I still struggle with his casting where unless he is the only person in the world who can play this character, which I don't think is the case, I just cannot understand casting him for this role.
I was wondering, do you think this Doom is going to be a Tony Stark, or do you think he's going to be Victor Von Doom?
It can't be Tony Stark.
Because then why cast him though? That
doesn't
make sense.
I really,
you know?
Unless there's something that's so like profound in this movie where it all makes sense and it's such a genius decision, and everybody is like, everyone eats their words like, oh wow, I can't believe I doubted that. That really paid off. But I don't really see what that is.
Yeah, the only way I could see it making sense, I don't want him to be Tony Stark, but is if they are going to assume that we all know Tony Stark. Well, everybody should know at this point that Tony Stark is a genius. Everything that he did, and that in this universe, he is just in place of Victor Von Doom. He grows up at the same time as Reed Richards, and he's in their universe. He just becomes Doom, and that he is now going over he's trying to rule the world, I guess. I don't know, but they have to make it make sense, because if they just cast him as Doom and then they never really explain why he looks like Tony Stark, and then like the characters are getting tricked over in Earth 616 because they think he's Tony Stark, I'd be kind of annoyed by that.
Well, that's what I've heard, that's going to be a big part, is he uses that to his advantage.
Like Spider-Man's like, oh, I'm trusting him.
Which is crazy. And also his face isn't going to be scarred, I heard. So, like, I feel like they're completely changing the character to justify their decision in casting Robert Downey Jr. when you didn't have to. It seems more and more like the sole purpose behind it was it would have got a big cheer at Comic-Con.
I wish we didn't. It would be cool though if we didn't know he was going to be Robert Downey Jr. Because imagine if like right now we know the next movie's called Doomsday.
Right.
We don't know who's playing Dr. Doom, and Tony Stark's on set, so we just assume Iron Man's coming back for like cameos in the movie. And then imagine how big that reveal would be when everybody's in the theater and he pulls off the mask and it's Tony Stark. That would be fucking crazy. Because right now, after seeing that after credit scene, we would have been like, oh, I wonder who's playing Doom. I wonder who's playing Doom. He just showed his face to the baby. I wonder who this is. And then the big twist is that it is Robert Downey Jr. That would have been cool. But I feel like the fact that we know it ahead of time is just frustrates me, which is one of my bigger problems with Marvel as of late, is that they reveal too much stuff to us before the movies come out.
Yeah, no, you just saying that has made me realize how crazy that would have been to experience that in theaters, dude, where he takes off the mask and it's Robert Downey fucking Jr. It'd be like, what?
But that's the only...
We would see him on set and people would be like, oh, it's just Iron Man cameos for Secret Wars or whatever, and then he's the villain. That would be fucking crazy.
But that's the only reason why it would be cool, is because it is Robert Downey Jr. who played Iron Man. Like, that's where it begins and ends. Like, I don't think it does much for the story. And I think that is, you set yourself up for disaster when you build a character around the actor rather than building the character to be the best version of that character that makes sense within the world you're trying to build. And yeah, you could have casted anybody.
Do you think there's a chance though that, okay, let's say hypothetically, this is Robert Downey Jr. is Doom for Doomsday and Secret Wars, and that Doom eventually has to come back, I assume, for Fantastic Four or whatever to be a villain in their movies. Do you think they recast for that Doom, and that the Doom moving forward after Secret Wars wouldn't be Robert Downey Jr., but a whole new, maybe the Doctor Doom from their universe or something like that?
I don't know. It's kind of making me mad. It's unnecessarily complicating things.
Yeah, it is. Well, I think that the new theory that I don't hate is that it's going to be a sort of parallel to Tony Stark's relationship with Howard Stark, and that he's not playing the original Doctor Doom, but he's playing Doctor Doom's son, who is a character in the comics who has impersonated Doom and has used that persona to manipulate other characters within the Marvel universe. And it's going to be sort of a contrast to how that generational trauma passes down. And, you know, it's something that Tony Stark had to grapple with. But at the end of the day, Howard Stark, you could argue, was a force for good, even though he was a complicated and at times shitty person. Whereas Doctor Doom is also, he likes to liken himself as a force for good, but we know that he does things that are just unequivocally villainous, and that it's going to be a parallel between that journey he takes in the first 15 years of the MCU versus just 2 movies in the new MCU, or in this new universe. But I mean,
does have...
when it was first announced, it was nothing more of than a gimmick to me, and it doesn't seem as if it's not going to be one.
It's like, even if it's revealed that like we don't see Doom here, maybe that isn't Robert Downey Jr., but when he goes to Earth 616, he's Robert Downey Jr. because he uses some kind of magic to make his appearance that way.
Yeah, that could be interesting too. I've also, just based on everything I've read about Secret Wars, it doesn't seem like there's enough time to get into the heart of what that story is. And it's a conflict between Reed and Doctor Doom. It involves a lot of other characters, but at its core, it's about their relationship.
Yeah, and their ideologies. It seems like we would need
like a
two
solo movie
and 2 shows for this.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I think there's just going to be too much to wrap up. There's too many characters. Like this doesn't even have. We haven't even talked about like Loki and stuff like that. Like there's so much going on in the MCU that it's going to be. I understand why they haven't finished the script yet, because they kind of wrote themselves into a corner here, I think.
Yeah, and the old Fox characters are all over this movie.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of, did you guys see the Marvels? At the end of that, Monica Rambeau is with what's his face, Beast from X-Men. From the original
right.
actor.
Yeah. I actually didn't rewatch it. I watched it for the first time a few weeks ago. Holy fuck, was that terrible.
That movie was fucking ass, dude. That shit was so garbage. I can't even remember the villain's name.
It was that girl, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's all I know. It was that girl, right?
That one sequence when they're all switching places, that was actually really well done, and then the rest of the movie is just garbage.
In other news, kind of sidetrack here, but did you guys get that Avatar trailer at the beginning?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought we missed it. I was going to be pissed.
The fact that the AMC, like, she walked out and everything, I was like, oh, the trailers are done. And then they took a second, and then they pulled out Avatar. I was like, yo, no way. That shit's crazy.
No, it looks awesome, dude.
Yeah, I think visually, it just looks insane. It made me remember how much I hated Spider, though. Fuck Spider.
I'm very pro Spider. I don't know about you guys. He's just a good kid.
I mean, I don't know about that.
What? He's just trying his best. He's a little monkey boy.
I love his dreads.
They should have made him talk like Donnie from the Wild Thornberrys. That probably would have made him more likable. I
was gonna say Nash has a good impression of that, right?
Yeah, no, Nash's Donnie is much better than my Donnie, but Nash's Darwin sucks.
Darwin's
a monkey.
These people. Oh, Wild Thornberries. Big fans of the Wild Thornberries on the channel.
That boy Nigel, man, he's the animal whisperer.
I hate to do this, but I feel like it's gonna happen for the rest of the time. How do you compare this movie to Superman? What do you guys think was better? What I feel like just with how closely they were released.
Yeah, it was good.
Always compared to Superman and a little bit of Thunderbolts too.
Good back to back. Yeah. I think Superman the character means more to me, so I like Superman more, but they're very close. I gave them the same rating, 4 stars.
Fantastic 4 stars.
Yeah, fantastic 4 stars. But both movies I've seen multiple times in theaters, and like I said, I think Superman is both characters, or I guess multiple characters in the Fantastic Four. Everyone's been waiting for that first good movie. For Superman, it's just been it's been a long time, and for the Fantastic Four, it's been never. So yeah, I think it just comes down to which team or which character you like most, and for me that is Superman, but very close.
Yeah, I thought that although they weren't perfect movies like we said, I thought it gave me a little bit of hope for the superhero genre. Switch things up enough where my fatigue isn't hitting as much as it was before. Like where maybe now I will tap into an Ironheart Disney Plus show because Fantastic Four was good,
Yeah, finally see Mephisto.
Dude, the fact that Mephisto's finally showing up and it's in Ironheart is crazy. I've been hearing about Mephisto for like 8 years, bro. Literally since WandaVision, people have been talking about Mephisto. A stork showed up in WandaVision, and everybody's like, "Oh, that stork's because of Mephisto."
Everybody just never came through in WandaVision.
Dude, it was like and then Agatha comes around, and they're like, "Nah, Mephisto's for sure in this one."
First of all, Agatha was fire. You should tap into Agatha before anything. But wait until October.
Agatha, are you kidding me?
Agatha is genuinely the best MCU show.
Well, I watched Daredevil, but like I couldn't get through Loki season 2, and I just haven't watched anything.
Save Agatha for October. It's going to become like a yearly spooky season watch for me.
Yeah, Agatha, that one episode, without spoiling anything, with the, you know what episode I'm talking about.
Oh, you've seen Agatha. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one episode that was crazy of that shit.
Yeah, no, it's the episode before the finale, right? And then the finale is really good too.
Yeah, that show, good show. Aubrey Plaza too.
Yeah, dude, and Patty Lupon, she was great. No, they were all hot.
I haven't heard of in a while. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Bro was eating good in the neighborhood.
Bro's got the bib out, fork and knife.
He's tucking that shit in real tight.
Got wet naps.
But
man, what the hell were we talking about before this?
I don't know, but Superman. I was gonna just say Cousin. I don't know his name. I just know him as Cousin. Cousin was very good in that movie. I thought I liked Cousin. I liked Eddie from Stranger Things. They I haven't really seen them in much else besides the Bear and Stranger Things. So I really liked them in this. And I liked all the characters really. I know Pedro Pascal's getting a little bit of hate, but I think everybody did a pretty good job overall.
I thought you were gonna keep
I was
going.
telling Aaron after the movie.
Like, the Cousin and the Bear, Eddie from Stranger Things, Oberyn from Game of Thrones, and
Vanessa Kirby from The Crown.
Yeah.
Paul Walter Hauser from Richard Jewell. He was funny too. No, I was telling Aaron after the movie, I love Joseph Quinn. I think that dude is a rock star. It was he's one of those actors. He popped up in Stranger Things, and I'm like, this guy's awesome. Like, I love everything about him. Yeah. Maybe the character was a little annoying. Yeah. And he really, he was really holding back on some of those, eccentric traits that he brought to a role like in Stranger Things, or even in Gladiator 2, or A Quiet Place. He was great in A Quiet Place as well.
I forgot he was in Gladiator. And A Quiet Place. Oh my God.
So I think he's great. He's got great star power and good casting too, because him and Vanessa Kirby sort of resemble each other. They both have big eyes.
Yeah, the cast, like all together, they really felt like a family. Like they felt like these people have been hanging out for years together.
Yeah, and Ben, I think, good casting choice too, because he feels the loneliest out of the family. And yet he makes the effort to keep them a group, keep them united. He goes out of his way to get the cookies. He's always preparing dinner. But because of, the way that his physical appearance has changed, he obviously is struggling with that. And, the idea of him being in a relationship with somebody else, could that even work for him? So it's similar with Pedro Pascal, where both actors have this sensitivity, this natural sensitivity that they're able to bring to these roles. So and even seeing him, as himself in those old pictures, he's just very likable when you see that actor, Ebon. I don't remember the rest of his name. Ebon Moss.
He's just Cousin.
No, he really is just Cousin, bro. Even the inclusion of Herbie, who is very cute throughout the movie, shows how they're embracing the roots of these characters, and they're very earnest. They're not going to not include Herbie because it comes off as a little dated or goofy. They really just embraced it, and I thought he brought some good comic relief for the team as well, and kind of establishing that Jetsons vibe, and as I keep saying, the retro futurism of it all. And I think that, there's been a stink following these characters because of the 3 movies that preceded this one. And I think making them so beloved within their universe, making them really cool, heroes for people to idolize, helped wash away some of that stench that has been following them around, and, introducing them to a new generation of comic book fans, and that the Fantastic Four can be cool, can be heroes that you like and dress up as, and, set up Stan Twitter accounts for and shit like that. So just an overall a great job of reintroducing these characters to the world. A couple questions and then we'll wrap it up. We'll take some fun questions here.
That's for the fan to decide.
Yay! People, you call up to the show, you better be ready. That's what you're supposed to do. Sitting there arguing and you're trying to spell your name and all of this other stuff. It's not your show, it's my show. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak your mind. Don't call up here unless you got something to say.
Predictions for the upcoming NFL season.
I was saying before the pod started, I think as a Giants fan, if everything goes good, if Neighbors is looking like how I think he'll look, if Russ is playing good, we have the best D-line in the league. 4 wins tops. 4 gritty wins, though. Realistically, I say this every year, I think, but I think the Ravens make a step this year and go to the Super Bowl. So if we're doing predictions, Ravens, Lions. But you can't count out Mahomes. Can't ever count him out.
Yeah, that question was from Jai Taylor Walker. Good predictions there, Cam. I'm going to give a hot take. I'm going to say Caleb Williams wins MVP.
All right, so how's the crack you've been smoking? Because that shit's not happening.
I think with Ben Johnson, they got weapons. I think he gets one of those MVPs where he'll be like the first 4,000-yard thrower, passer in Bears history. They make the playoffs, and they give it to him because of that, because he just made the Bears relevant again. That's my hot take.
He wins like 11 games.
Yeah,
Mitch Trubisky, but better.
And my other hot take will be Patriots winning the division. Vrabel and Drake May have a great year together. First great year.
Everyone's on the Drake May train. His ass.
I always see this page on my suggested on Instagram that's called Drake May Worshipper, and they just glaze Drake May at all times.
It is so funny every year. There are like 5 or 6 young QBs that everybody's convinced are going to be great. And it's like there are never 5 to 6 great QBs in the NFL at one time ever.
Yeah.
Holmes is even washed now.
All right, chill out with that, bro.
Dude, if he has like another sort of like pretty good season like he's been having the last few years, it is time to ring the alarm.
He's without a doubt the second best quarterback ever right now, and probably the most skilled to ever play. Brady's obviously like not as skilled as him, but Brady's better, but I think he's number 2 with his resume, dude. He's gone to the AFC Championship every year of his career.
Resume wise, he already has the second best resume in NFL history.
Wait till my boy Lamar gets his, though. When Lamar gets that ring, we're gonna have an uncomfortable conversation about him.
It's for some guys like 1 ring is so much more valuable than like 2 rings. It's so weird. A ring for Josh Allen and the Bills would be worth like 2.5 rings. In my estimation, like a Lamar ring.
Yeah, no, it really works that way.
Then Jalen Hurts is like a quarter ring.
Well, we also like just up until recently, like Brady and the same thing in basketball with Jordan. It's like reset the standards where like 1 ring isn't good enough. Like it is. Like it's very hard to win. And I think we all expect the best players ever to put up 7-6 rings. It's just not realistic. What Mahomes did in his first half of his career is insane. Realistically, like 1 or 2 is like really fucking hard and really good. And for most players, it is enough.
Dude, I'll never forget what Rob Parker said about Peyton Manning. Anyone can win 1 Super Bowl. Everybody on the panel is like, are we serious right now? I do think Brady's the GOAT. He was drafted into a great situation, always had great defenses, and he made the most of it, so you have to give him the credit. He was super clutch, always performed his best when his back was against the wall, but if you give Aaron Rodgers 10 straight seasons with a top 5 defense, do I think he has more than 1 Super Bowl? I do. So
talking of washed.
Oh, he
threw a pick on his first play.
He did?
Yeah. Just threw it to DK on like an out route and just got picked off.
Yeah.
The hell are the Steelers doing?
Hey, they're gonna go 500, 1 over 500, and make the wild card. And then people still want Mike Tomlin fired.
It's weird to see Rodgers in another uniform. Like he just like the Packers all those years, and like to see him in a Steelers uniform. Like,
oh, but it wasn't weird to see him in a Jets uniform.
No, he didn't play for the Jets.
We're just not acknowledging that one anymore.
We went right from Zach Wilson to Justin Fields. I don't know what you're talking about.
That summer when the Jets first got Aaron Rodgers, the amount of times I had to hear Jets and Super Bowl in the same sentence.
Dude, even after he got hurt, people were like, oh yeah, but next year.
if he wins us a Super Bowl next year.
No, that was the year. The year he got hurt was legitimate, like our best team. The fact that we got 7 wins with Zach Wilson that year was insane.
Well, Zach Wilson's better than Rodgers.
Salah was fucking working magic, bro.
Didn't they win that game where Rodgers got hurt on a kick return or a punt return?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
People freaked out.
I remember Nash crazy. And Aaron were fucking hype.
Oh, that was a wild day.
That was 9/12, right?
Oh, 9/11.
Yeah, it was on 9/11. It was on 9/10. The Giants lost 40-0 to the Cowboys. Do you remember that?
Oh
shit?
my God!
Yo,
yeah,
they had a promising first drive, and then they blocked the field goal and ran it back on us, and then we just got shit on the rest of the game.
Yo, Dimes was delivering on that first drive, though.
Oh my God! From that first drive, I thought we were going to the Super Bowl. And then shit went downhill really quick. We ended up with the sixth pick in the draft.
The first game last year, like, remember that Aaron Rodgers drive against the Niners? That was it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
No, they can never take that away from us. That one drive in the game we
7-0
lost.
notification. All right, last question here. This one from Cora. Have you guys caught any special theatrical re-releases this year? Or what movie would you like to see re-released into theaters? Seeing Revenge of the Sith and Pride and Prejudice in packed theaters was so fun. Yeah, I missed both of those. I actually would have liked to have seen Pride and Prejudice with a packed theater versus Revenge of the Sith, but I did miss out on both of those, but both fun choices there.
I saw Revenge of the Sith, and that shit was cinema, bro. Like, I was never a big prequel fan, but when I was seeing Revenge of the Sith in the theater, I felt like a little kid again, man, because just everything about it, everybody's quoting every word to the movie, and everybody, like, you just know what's coming. It's like everybody's going into the theater making jokes like, oh, I wonder what happens to Anakin at the end of this movie, blah, blah, blah. The whole aura around the movie was just, it was a great time, man. It was listening to Duel of the Fates, and seeing them fight on Mustafar was some special shit right there. My favorite re-release though that I've seen probably was when we saw 2001. That was fire.
Oh yeah, that was great, and
that was my first time seeing it.
Yeah, no, that was a great to see that at the Lincoln Center IMAX with the 70mm print, because I loved how grainy it looked. You know, like the film was kind of old. You know, you're experiencing it in a way that's just that's pure cinema, you know?
And that movie honestly reminded me a lot of Fantastic Four. I feel like Fantastic Four definitely got a little inspiration from that movie in the space scenes, for sure.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, when they first encounter Galactus and they see just the planet-eating machine, they're like, what the hell is that? They were just startled.
Yeah, that shit just pulled up. They're like, it's inside the planet, and then it just eats the planet from the inside out. That shit was crazy.
Really caught any of them, but anytime Oppenheimer ever comes back to IMAX, I'm going to watch it.
Neither of you caught Interstellar?
No. I'm a big re-release guy.
You're not supporting local cinema?
No.
Yeah, you're not supporting your local national Regal chain?
You're not using your AMC Movie Pass to go watch the movie for free, like me?
Family owned.
Yeah,
cinema,
Tenet I wanted
Regal.
to see. Yeah, Mr. Regal.
I'm stuck. I've been like slowly sinking in my chair and I'm stuck.
Oh, it's bad for the back, bro.
Oh,
yeah, Tenet I would like to see in IMAX again. Or for the first time.
Tenet was... I drove an hour to go see Tenet when that first dropped in theaters during COVID.
Yeah,
and that shit was special. Yeah, I was in fucking Iowa for seeing that movie. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah, you guys weren't stuck in the woke states.
Literally, me and Christian just
drove to New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, you escaped. I don't know how they let you out.
Never got there
COVID
faster.
lockdown.
No traffic. I was sick.
He got the vax just to see Tenet.
I would get 17 vaccinations to go see The Odyssey. That boy is
every time that trailer comes on, dude, and John Barenthal's giving his little speech, like, what do you know about Odysseus? I'm like, yo, get me in this.
Who has a story?
That shit gets me so hyped. I'm expecting that to be like my favorite movie ever.
It's like when Tyler the Creator on Eric Andre show, and there's pan to him and that single tear dropping down his eye. It's just Tom Holland the whole time.
Yeah. It's funny because the more I see that trailer, I'm like, I've got like 10 more of these until I get sick of it, until I need to see something else.
I don't think I'll ever get sick of it.
It's fun seeing people speculate on who's playing who from the story, and it seems like most people kind of have it pinned down. I'm really excited because Pattinson is playing the guy who's just trying to fuck Tom Holland's mom the entire story. So I think Pattinson, he's always tormenting America's favorite tiny white boys.
You know if the Rizzler's casted or not?
I don't think so, bro.
Just showing up in this movie. When does the Rizzler make his break into the MCU?
That's what I was going to say. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it's coming.
They tease him as Hulk's son.
Well, him playing Mario Kart with all these celebrities is so funny, dude.
You think he's nice? You think he's like doing the tricks and shit?
I mean, he's at the age where he should be in his prime, right?
You know who I hate? That new
Big
kid.
Justice.
No, I respect Big Justice. The like really Italian kid. You guys onto him yet?
I'm not familiar with his game.
He's the worst. It's like a 7-year-old kid, and he's like, "Don't call it mozzarella. It's mozzarella."
That kid. Yeah, I know that kid. Yeah,
I fucking hate that kid.
He's like at school, and they're calling it prosciutto.
Ugh.
He gets all pissed about it.
Because I hate adults that are like that.
Aren't you Italian?
Like half, but like it's annoying. They just make up words and expect everybody to go along with their facade.
The gabagool.
The comments on AJ and Big Justice whenever they drop a video now are just so sad. Everyone's like, put the boom in the bag, bro. It's over.
Put the boom in the bag is crazy.
That's fucking great.
They're all like, school's starting soon. Get off the internet.
I'm very interested to watch Big Justice's fall off in the next couple of years.
Oh wow, he did him and the Rizzler are eating crab legs.
Big Justice?
Got to see this.
They look like they're having fun. All the comments get super positive when the Rizzler's back in the picture.
I like the Rizzler's dad. Rizzler's dad seems like a good father.
He does seem just like a
about
normal
AJ.
guy.
He's got some weird shit going on.
No, you cannot trust AJ, bro. If they found like a fridge with a bunch of heads with no bodies, I would not be surprised. All right, guys, that's where we're going to leave this review for now. Cam, Aaron, thanks for joining me. And everybody out there, thank you for listening, for sharing, for subscribing. Hope you enjoyed the movie. Comment down below what your thoughts are on the Fantastic Four, the first steps. Aaron, Cam, any last thoughts that you want to leave the people at home? Any words of advice?
Galactus lost by ring out. That's about it.
Well, Cam said that, not me, Galactus, if you're listening.
It's recycled, you know? I was thinking about that the other day. I was just driving around and I was looking at all these houses. I'm like, just a lot of garbage. Where does it all go?
I thought you didn't recycle.
I have a recycling bin, but I put it in the garbage when it's full.
I remember being really pissed off finding out that you and Teddy didn't recycle. It bothers me to this day.
But I'm going to start because I was just thinking about all the garbage. It's like, where does it all go? Like, where does it go? You know?
Yeah, it usually goes to the dump, right?
And
or the ocean. Then all the fishies
like,
eat it
I get
up.
freaked out too. Like when I think about chicken, like everywhere, every restaurant you go to, everyone just has chicken, and then they have stock of chicken in case that chicken runs out. How many chickens are there? Like, freaks me out. There's just so much stuff.
No, when they had to fucking vaporize all those chickens, they killed like hundreds of millions of chickens because of the bird flu. It's just a chicken annihilation. Like Google says there are 26 billion chickens on Earth right now.
That's crazy. I
That's
don't think it's enough. It's a lot. Like,
it doesn't feel like enough. 3.5 chickens for every person. That's not enough for guys like the Hound.
No. And everywhere you go, there's chicken on the menu, multiple styles. Like each McDonald's probably has 1,000 chickens in their freezers right now.
What did you?
And how many McDonald's are there?
Said you got to factor in the vegans. They don't eat the chicken, so that's a little bit more for us.
Yeah, but no, we forgot the vegans.
We need more chickens.
Make chicken great again.
There's a big debate here between Aaron wants more chickens, Cam saying there's already enough. I feel like I'm stuck in between two people that are making great points.
It's a chicken overpopulation. I don't want that GMO chicken. I want the real chicken.
Now I'm back in on GMOs.
How are we at this right now?
Don't buy cage free because that's good marketing, but they're still being abused. I want my chicken to have a good life before it digest it.
I don't know because then yeah.
Oh, you just want to torture the chicken? Like you don't want to show him a good time at all because it's going to end in misery anyway.
The chicken's like, would you rather put up a facade for this chicken, put him in his own little matrix where he thinks everything's going to be okay, and then one day, or would you want the chicken that's waiting for death because he's been subjugated to this living hell, and the only thing that can save him is the sweet release of slaughter?
Jesus fucking Christ!
Yo, this is getting dark.
This is why they had to do what they did in Chicken Run. Shout out to Mel Gibson. All right, I'm gonna
rip Hulk Hogan.
Oh, come on.
What we're not giving shout out to the Hulk? Only the green one?
I know that Hulk's going to heaven. I don't know about Hogan.
God damn.